All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So kind of a mixed bag here. We're gonna talk about Tesla because it is, a very important stock to say the least. Clearly, earnings has come and gone, and unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of gone as we're looking at this, right? So this is going to influence the NASDAQ a lot. This is probably going to touch the S&P and Dow a little bit as well, right? Because yeah, just because this is a tech stock doesn't mean it's not an S&P 500 stock. It is a top 500 to say the least, right? So yeah, we got to talk about Tesla today. From there, Soundhound and MVIS, it's been a bit since I've covered those, so we will take a look at them today. So Soundhound, I don't think was looking good on the moving averages even before this earnings reaction happened here, right? And again, not the same sector. It's not like EV and AI are connected, but in a lot of ways they are, right? Like LiDAR systems are very much AI and, this and that, right? So not apples to apples, but tech driven, right? And again, same with MVIS. I just talked about LiDAR systems, this and that, right? So though these aren't necessarily all in the same sector, I think the tech connection makes it okay to do today, all right? So before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, I'm telling you, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, especially if you can share the video. My socials are growing and a lot of you have way bigger accounts than I do, and if you can hit share, oh man, it helps so much. All right, so let's get into Tesla. All right, and okay, obviously the earnings are a really important thing to talk about, all right? And oh yeah, okay, sorry, this was a good reminder. We are in live hours, all right? There's still 30 minutes of trading. Alerts are never a buy notification, you know what I mean? They're just alerts. So you're gonna see some alerts pop up, you're gonna see the percentages move, you're gonna see the candle move. I care about the close of market. I'm just a little bit busy and I couldn't do it any later, okay? So sorry for that caveat, but okay. Obviously, earnings is what happens, but I really want to talk about what's been going on with Tesla before earnings, because again, it's been a while since I've covered these. And look, break all 5 and fly, lose all 5 and die, all right? That is one of the cornerstones of all my videos, all right? If you can get above our 5 moving averages, amazing things happen, and Tesla knows how to do that. It has been above all 5 and flown, all right? It's been trying to do it again. But in this, and this, it never confirmed, all right? I always say it, and if you've never watched my videos, I'm saying it again. Never let a single day dictate it. You need more. You need confirmation, especially on a more established stock like Tesla, all right? Let's just look at this little moment, right? Above all 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good candle, no confirmation, not even a good one, but we'll just say a green one, no confirmation, fall below. Good candle, no confirmation. Good candle, no confirmation, right? Same thing with this. Even though we're uptrending above all 5, all right? Let me zoom in. That's a good one. That's not confirmation, all right? None of those after that were ever another good one, and lo and behold, we've lost it, right? So there's a difference between breaking and flying and then, being above them and trying, right? So from there, you can kind of see this 270 resistance. Is that the last line I drew on this? No, there was definitely more above it. But yeah, this was just something that was never able to get over. And then from there, what ends up happening, we actually lose them all and go, right? And then earnings took it off. The same thing I would say about this is here. Though we were under all the moving averages, it actually never confirms it. That's not a big candle. Doji never counts. That's obviously a green candle. That doesn't count. That's a big bad red one. That doesn't count, and so on and so forth. So even though we were under them, I think people were just scared to make a big move and were waiting for this day, the earnings to drop, right? And the earnings reaction to hit, right? So, excuse me. One thing I also always say, all right, is I personally, oh, excuse me, 2 hiccups there, my apologies. I personally never hold a stock going into earnings. If I do, it's really a small amount, okay, because earnings are always a gamble. The problem with earnings is sometimes you will see bullet after bullet after bullet after bullet of nothing but great news, and then one little bad line destroys everything, makes you gap down, and brings you double-digit losses. You know what I mean? Like, and then the other way around. I've seen the dumbest and worst earnings like drops, and lo and behold, the thing is up like 20%. What? Like, it is so unpredictable, and it is so almost random the way the market reacts to it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I can't stress enough, our personal opinions of the earnings never matter. I guarantee you there are people that listen to the earnings and actually liked it. Maybe they're long holders and they see the longer goals and the longer outcomes and the longer benefits. I'm a person that's looking at a daily chart and a weekly chart, right? Like, my long term is a week based on my view, right? So immediate bad is all it is. And am I here to justify it? Am I here to argue it? No. I'm just here believing there's more to happen, okay? I'm going to zoom out now a little bit, all right? So my next line down is 123. All right, and clearly there's a couple other places we can draw a line, but I can see why I did that. And again, I really don't know the last time I covered Tesla, but red, green, red, 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 green, green, green. There is a lot of crazy fast movement between this 196 and 123. Like, the only real line that's jumping out to me is making that one at 156. And look, I was obviously looking at this day. I was looking at the 427 day. It basically ties in with that December 22 day, right? So, yeah, let me come down here. We're not done yet. The volume, okay? So Tesla has essentially been living on the 50-day average, and that's very common for, again, a more well-established company. It should easily sit on this every day. Some days pop in, other days, maybe not, but give or take, it's always on it. What is now happening is we're now starting to break it because of the earnings reaction, and I think there's going to be more volume to come. This is a bad divergence. Look, divergence just means two lines going away. You can clearly see the green is going away, but the problem is it's going the wrong way. We like it when it's green above red, not green going lower and lower and diverging lower and lower from red, right? So MACD is bad, RSI is bad, volume is bad. Listen, I see the 7 RSI. I realize that means it's too low. Look at this right here. It was not that long ago the RSI was at an 11. Late October of last year. Wasn't that long ago that the RSI was at a 14. All right, August of last year, right? Like, Tesla knows how to get really low on the RSIs, and honestly, with an earnings reaction like this, I think there's more to had. I think we're coming down to 156. What's this line? Maybe 171 saves this. I'll draw that. Where was that? Right here-ish? No, I think it was that. Yeah, it was that. 171. I'll take one. Again, I'm not here for perfect, right? Like, the lines don't need, like, we're close enough will save or make you a lot. I promise you that. But it seems like we're going to come to 171. Truth be told, I don't think that that's strong enough of a line, and we're actually going to come down to this 150s. Maybe a little bit higher, maybe not quite mid 150s, but yeah, I don't see this 171 being enough. Because again, just look at this channel, right? From the 19, like, it's just a bunch of downs and ups, downs and ups, downs and ups. It's going to be a quick down, So I'm Curious to hear what you all think of the earnings. Please let me know. You know, if you watch my video, I didn't look at the earnings, right? Like, my simple-minded opinion of the earnings does not matter. The market decided it was bad enough to gap down and run another 12. You know, this isn't over. The volume's going to pick up. Yeah, let's take a look at the weekly. Oh man, that's bad. Okay, so I do not like you. I started the video with it. Below all five and die. It's real bad when you're there on the daily and on the weekly, because what happens is you now kind of signal that you have weeks and weeks and weeks of falling below and dying. And look at this thing. This is still a really bad divergence on the MACD, but it's a lot fresher. This thing is still a lot fresher on the RSI. Yeah, we're a 7 on the daily, but we're still a 30 something. And look, the weekly has gone as low as 14. So this can see weeks of pain. I find it even harder to imagine we don't come to 156. I wouldn't even be surprised if we come down to 144. Again, there might have been goodness in the earnings, right? I'm not here to argue this reaction. I'm here to follow the aftermath. That's how I play earnings. Doesn't matter the ticker, doesn't matter the sector, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. I'm telling you, I am not here to hate on your thoughts. I'm here hoping to have educated conversations with some good people, all right? So let's move into Soundhound. Okay, I was correct. So I started this video. By the way, this is a live trading video. There's still 20 minutes left. You might see an alert pop up. You might see some candles and percents move. Sorry about that. You know I care more about the close, but we're close enough. So let's talk about Soundhound today. And truth be told, I don't know if you fast forwarded to this part or not, but I have to flash it, right? Tesla had bad earnings reaction. Double-digit loss, but more than anything, we gapped down. All right, we're below all five on the daily. We're below all five on the weekly. I zoomed out too much for that. I think this is going to come down a lot. All right, and why am I flashing that for Soundhound? Because I always talk about the NASDAQ. All right, not comp. Sorry. Oh, comp looks interesting. Maybe we'll put that in our back pocket. Oh, get out of here. This is what NASDAQ looks like now? Get out of here. Interesting. Okay, I'll be honest. I assumed Tesla earnings was going to drag this down a lot more. Did something happen in the last 15 minutes? I guess a little bit. I don't remember when I was looking, but I thought NASDAQ was not looking good. Interesting. How does IWM look? The Russell 2000 ETF? Actually, not that bad either. Interesting. I'm surprised to see those two do the way. You can tell I didn't prep my video today. The only thing I did know was Soundhound didn't escape. I was watching this. I'll be honest with you all. I saw the move up. I very, very much saw the. I really would have loved to make a video on this. Just D-Walk and fun took over, and I gotta listen to these YouTube algorithms, right? They are the boss end of the day for me. But I saw this big candle, right? I saw. Look in the box over there. The high of the day, the third line, the high of the day was 198. The close of the day was 198. I love that, right? I love that. That's a nice break of the 8. That's a real good run from the 8 all the way to the 20, right? I saw this. I would have gotten excited. I would have for sure made some, good comments, right? But it's hard to get over 2 moving averages, especially when they're this tight. And really, these two were a stack of 2. And then ultimately, those two were another stack of 2. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to take this, then immediately take this. And then let's say you still had this one to take out. Like, that's a lot of asking of any stock. And, it makes sense to me that we came down 3 days. I actually think that would have been hindsight is 2020 though. I think I would have seen this nice little growth in volume, the nice little divergence and just I would have been excited about Monday. I can't pretend that, okay? I started the video again thinking that the Tesla earnings was going to drag everything down, and I obviously started this section showing the Nasdaq and Russell were actually holding, right? So that takes an interesting turn of what I was going to think and say here, right? Because now I'm a little bit wondering, why are we not able to make the move and escape the lines, right? Like, yeah, granted, I would say that Nasdaq didn't have any monster big candles, right? I think that's an easy thing to say, but I'm a little surprised. Let me look at Palantir. I thought I saw I don't know if this is, I remember seeing the gap up. I actually didn't realize that Palantir didn't close as strong on Monday. That's a little bit interesting. I think the follow through there makes a little bit of sense. NVIDIA, wow, NVIDIA is still chugging along. Wow, why is SoundHound not? What's AI look like? It's funny, all the smaller ones are looking the same. Interesting, interesting. I'm actually like, I'm taking aback a little bit, and I think a lot of it not was NVIDIA, was NVIDIA. This thing is still running, right? And why is it not bringing up the rest? I think that's a little disheartening. Obviously, we saw the connection with the others, right? We saw Palantir, AI. If those are having rough days, you know I kind of have that in my hierarchy that this one should follow, right? But a little bit interesting that the Russell, that the Nasdaq, and that NVIDIA are doing well enough. Obviously NVIDIA doing better, but yeah, everything else is like, let me know if there was some like news or headline that I didn't see. I'll be honest with you, I am not sure. Let me focus on the technicals that I know, because again, clearly I'm at a little bit of a loss here. Where are we, right? We're in the same place we have been. We're still under all the moving averages, right? You can't let one single day get you excited. And obviously, I was real honest. I think I probably would have, right? And that's the consequences of that, right? The problem is we're now under all the moving averages again. And same with the way up, I'm going to say with the way down. You can't let a single candle, dictate it, right? But we're starting to see a little bit of the scary divergence in this. The MACD is actually still in the negative, right? Volume's been an issue, and just kind of zooming back since this, what is that, late November, basically early December. Well, yeah, we'll just call it the first trading day of December. Since that, there's been minimal buying days on SoundHound, right? Like, let me just zoom into this. This is the perfect view. There's minimal green candles as a whole right here. People have been either buying and selling and a bit and just flipping it, or just kind of starting to unload a little bit, right? So I volume is king to me, and I don't like seeing that down there. So look, got to get over the 8 and the 20. I would say that's the first, because even this day, right? Even the Monday, let's take a look at it. The average 20, you can see in the box over there, was 198. SoundHound closed at 198. I have a joke for that. I basically say, I don't know if you're watching football or not, but in Buffalo, it's been like crazy snow and crazy stuff. If you're out, like on the line, does not mean over the line, all right? If you're standing in a blizzard and you're at the door, that's way different than being inside the house with the heater hitting you. You know what I mean? So I don't care that we are on the line. You got to get over it, let alone break it, right? So the immediacy, I think, is 201. We really got to get back into 201 area. If I'm not mistaken, the last time I talked about SoundHound, I thought I said we would come into that 190s, but it might be a little hard to get over 2. I don't know if I did or not. I talk about so many takers, and I'm like trying to go back in the memory or not, right? But yeah, right now we are kind of at the mercy of these 4 moving averages. They're getting really tight, and they're essentially riding the channel, right? Like you can take advantage of this, right? You come to the bottom, you go to the top, you come to the bottom, hopefully you go back up, and you can make some nice little flips. And that kind of goes back to what I think the volume is down here, right? Like, people, I think, are just kind of riding the ups and downs of being stuck in the channel. Let's go to the look. 208 still the money line. That's going to get you over key lines on the weekly. The 208 will get you over all four of these, right? And I mean, you can even set a little higher criteria if you want, call it 213, 214. But Soundhound, that NVIDIA thing bothered me. It really still is, I'll be honest with you. And I'm going to try to dig a little bit. You know I would appreciate it if you gave me your thoughts as well in the comments, all right? Let's take a look at MVIS here. And MVIS, you know, I mean, do I say MVIS is... Sorry, really quickly, if you can please share and subscribe. Oh, man, it helps so much. Some of you have way bigger accounts, and that little click of share does magic, all right? So let's get into MVIS. And, you know, it's very much the same thoughts as Soundhound, you know? And we are... Okay, you just saw it. There's 10 minutes left of trading. You're going to see percents move. You might see the candles move, right? You know I care about the close. I think we're going to end with a doji. I think that's pretty fair to say, you know? And look, I was a little surprised to see it, but I actually did just realize that NASDAQ's not looking horrible. Even given how bad Tesla earning reaction was, NASDAQ's actually holding well. The Russell 2000 ETF, which is almost identical to the Russell 2000 itself, is actually also not looking bad at all. This thing has been trying to get back over all the moving averages. That's a great thing, right? That is what I'm seeing with MVIS. I'm seeing a stock that's trying to go up, that's trying to get over key lines, and that's basically trying to mimic the indices, all right? I like that. I'll be real honest with you. Obviously, people want more. I know that, right? Like, obviously, we know MVIS can do some big, crazy things, right? But, hey, I would much rather be over a couple lines trying to take a couple more than falling below under, you know what I mean? So it's been a while since we've talked about it, but for a while I was talking about like the oscillation of the 100 moving average. I was very much showing Soundhound regularly because this thing was also oscillating on that. Oscillating just means going up and down, right? MVIS, we haven't talked about the 100 in a while, but lo and behold, we're kind of back in the vortex of it, right? So I don't know if this up and down that actually didn't last very long is kind of happening here again. I don't know if we're going to go back up and down or not. But again, I think today's doji is saying, let tomorrow tell the truth, all right? The real problem, and I'm going to zoom in just past that, can't look. We're struggling to get over the 50-day average. Volume has been bad as well, right? Like I'm seeing more red volume days than green volume days, let alone staying below that line, right? Like this is only the average, right? Like this is a C student in the classroom. You got to get over the average to make volume significant enough to get over lines, right? But look, what am I looking for? If you can get over 255, I think that can make a real nice swing to 290, all right? 290 is still, and I mean we could look in the box over there. It's actually 291 is the purple average 200, right? But 292 has been our money line for a while. If we can get over 292, hopefully green, red turns again to green. All right, so that's definitely what the bigger hunt would be. But MVIS is still trying, and end of the day, I'd much rather see a stock that's still trying, wait on the sidelines and attack when it's ready, than, you know, the worst of the worst, right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. You know I appreciate you so much.